Doctor Who Season 13, Episode 4, titled Chapter 4, Village of the Angels. Now, this episode is a really, really good episode. Not perfect, there's certain things in this that I just didn't care for, certain things that are kind of like a trend out through this season, that I just like, come on guys, let's get something better, let's do something better with this. But with the main plot itself, dealing with the Weeping Angels is absolutely well done. Like, the thing about the Weeping Angels is interesting because you have Blink, right? Season 3, a David Tennant Doctor episode. It's an episode a lot of people would recommend to people who have never seen the show. I always go to like Get Out of the Fireplace or something on those lines, like, you know, have an episode that the Doctor's mainly in. But people pick Blink. And the Weeping Angels has a sense of fear. People felt terrified. The concept of not blinking, blink and you're dead. And of course it introduced the whole thing of reading Robbie Timey-Wimey. But then the writer of that episode became showrunner. And him who created, Steven Moffat, created the Weeping Angels, tried to make them be the next big thing. Let them be the new Daleks, the new Cybermans, the new Master, like the new villains they have kept on, right? And what made them special were gone. And we realized that the Weeping Angels work when they show up like once every 3 seasons, then once every season. And to the point that when this episode got announced and here's the title and they show up, and even from the cameo from Halloween Apocalypse from episode 1, people were like, oh my god, no, Weeping Angels episode, oh my god. Even though it was written, it's the first time it's not written by Steven Moffat, who created the Weeping Angels, it's written by Chris Chibnall. Even though it's a new showrunner and different writer and all that whole thing, we all were like, okay, Weeping Angels are popular, great. But what we didn't realize is that this episode is able to capture what Blink was able to accomplish. Because this entire episode, yes, writing-wise, it's standard, it's pretty decent. The ending is, mind-blowing. But it's all about direction with this episode. It's all about direction with the Weeping Angels. Because it's all about tension and atmosphere. And it's all about even the light flickering and making the face and how they're able, even concepts like the image of an angel becomes an angel in so different creative ways that makes them just able to be that captivating, and that, because it is all about tension. We all talked about the Weeping Angels scene from the first episode in Halloween Apocalypse, and how we were like, geez, this is, oh my god, they're able to capture this in a couple of minutes. And it's like, imagine that for an entire episode. It's so well put together in how they're able to move the story, finding out a little bit more about them and all that type of stuff that really captures the horror of them, were really well put together. Now, the stuff I didn't really care about was the stuff with Belle. I understand why Belle is here. I understand why she's introduced into this story. I get it. But at the same time, I'm not interested. I get it. She's there, one, so we can have this romantic thing about, hey, she and Victor are a thing, and we'll do this whole long-crossed lovers trying to reunite themselves across the stars nearly at the end of the universe. I get it. But the main reason she's there is to see, what does the universe look like after the flux? How is the universe trying to recover itself? And for me, what would be more interesting is just show, like last week, we saw the Daleks taking over certain planets and certain divisions across the galaxy. I'm like, just show some Daleks flying around and people like, Daleks going exterminate. Just do that stuff versus this whole we need to introduce a character who is going to show us all this. I just didn't care about Bale. And with this episode showing what Swarm and his sister's doing, I'm just show what they're doing. You don't need to lead them up and, lead what it's going to be. It's just not that necessary. Now, the other complaint I have is that clearly this season really wanted to be companionless, because this is like the third time in a row that the Doctor and the companions, in this case Yaz and Dan, are together, and whatever reason they get zapped out of time, and the Doctor's on her journey while the companions are on their separate journeys. And it just felt like, come on, we can do better. Like, if you wanted it to be companionless, just make it companionless. Like, is it really, like, is Dan there just so you can develop a relationship between Yaz and Dan? So when Yaz leaves, we can understand why? Is it that situation? It's just, it feels like they have nothing to do. It feels like Chibnall doesn't know what to do with his own characters. He doesn't know what to do with the companions. It really doesn't. And even though it's like linked to like a missing case and a missing girl, it's linked to the Weeping Angels, all that, it just feels like, oh, again? It was fine when we had the Sotaran episode. But again? Okay, come on, let's be a little bit better than that. Come on. If you want it to be a companionless and just have a Doctor alone season, just make it the Doctor being alone season. Just simple as that. Now, the one complaint that I'm going to see for a lot of people is it's more hinting. It's a lot of teasing, not giving a lot of answers or never giving us any answers. And what I see it as is clearly this is taking the murder mystery route, which is everything's going to be explained in the next episode or two. Everything's going to be explained in episode 5 or episode 6. Because I doubt so it's a little bit of, be a little bit more patient, be a little bit more weary of what's going to happen. Like, I do believe that we're going to get at least something wrapped up. We're going to get something revealed. If it's the Doctor finding out her past, if it is dealing with the Timeless Child, the Future's Doctor, whatever the situation is, we're going to find out by the end of episode 6. Don't worry about the whole, like, oh wait, is everything going to be explained in like 3 specials? Even though one's going to be like feature film length? Really? Like, if it's going to be that, it's going to piss people the hell off, because they'll probably think, if you're there for answers, you think this whole season is a waste of time. And for me, I'm that person who's like, did you have a fun time? Yes, I did. Well, it wasn't that much of a waste of time, was it? So, yeah, I mean, this is a really well put together episode. I actually think, oddly enough, like, the Chibnall era has kind of, for me, gone an upward spiral, which is season 11, pretty piss poor with like 3 good episodes, 4 if you want to include the Dalek episode. Then you have half good, half bad in season 12. And now you have firing all cylinders season with this. So this is a really well done, really put together season. And I really want to know how it's going to be wrapped up in the final 2. Definitely with that, ending. that might be not spoilery to mention at all, and I'm not going to mention it till next week. Blah, blah, blah.